In this video, we'll continue our study of electrolytic cells by looking at an electrolysis reaction. You'll recall that in an electrolysis reaction, we use electrical current to drive a chemical reaction. So here, we're passing electrical current through water. And the reaction is that we're forming hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Here's another type of electrolysis reaction. This is the oxidation and reduction of copper chloride. So we're going to look at this here very slowly, step by step. So let's draw that diagram again. We're going to need a battery. You know that the battery has a negative terminal and a positive terminal. And then here's our U-tube. In our U-tube, we'll have aqueous copper 2 chloride. We'll also place 2 graphite electrodes. Remember that an electrode conducts ions in and out of solution. We'll hook up one of the electrodes to the negative terminal and the other electrode to the positive terminal. Now you're going to kind of want to think about this battery sending negative electrons towards this electrode, and this battery pumping electrons away from this electrode. So remember, it's copper 2 chloride, which is written like this. So we should have 1 copper ion and 2 chloride ions floating around in solution. And once again, if we're pumping negative electrons to this electrode should accumulate a negative charge. Conversely, if we're drawing electrons away from this electrode, it should have a positive charge. Now, we know that opposites attract. So this positive copper ion, that's going to be attracted to this electrode. Now, what do you think will happen when this copper ion comes in contact with this electron-rich electrode? Well, yeah, you guessed it. It's going to be reduced by the extra electrons that are here. So the copper ion will turn into elemental copper, and you'll see the copper played out on top of the electrode. And on the other side, we have chloride ion with a negative charge being attracted to this positive electrode. And remember that this is pumping electrons away. So what's going to happen to these extra negative charges when it touches the electrode? That's right, the battery will draw those electrons back to the terminal, leaving chloride in an oxidized state as chlorine gas. And what you'll see is you'll see chlorine gas bubbling out from the top of the solution. Now let's go ahead and write these two half reactions. Remember that copper ion picked up 2 electrons and got reduced to elemental copper. And the chloride ion, that gave up 2 electrons and in the process turned into chlorine gas. So at this electrode, we have reduction. And you know that reduction takes place at the cathode. And over here, at this electrode, that's the anode, because that's where oxidation is taking place. So thanks for spending some time to familiarize yourself with this electrolysis reaction.